Hey everyone, this is coming to you live from San Jose, Costa Rica, my last couple weeks here. Video may or may not be a dumb idea, but just wanted to get this out there in case it helps anyone. How to keep a cool head in a tough market, especially a tough market for biotech. So you have no need of me reminding you how bad things are out there between zombie biotech companies, lack of meaningful M&A. We're seeing a lot of small potatoes buyouts with low premiums. Nothing meaningful other than ITCI, intracellular in the neurospace to start the year. You can see here on the daily the BBC, which I like better than XBI as far as letting us know how clinical stage biotech companies are going, is at lows. And if we zoom out, what's pretty nutty is it's not too far from the lows of 2023 when pessimism was at all-time horrible moment before that unexpected rebound. And you look at it here, and I remember one guy in our chat telling me that he was upset that he's doing well on the commercial side, but on the clinical, it just felt like running in place or treading water, but not even treading water, just sinking further. Any gains from your few good companies in your portfolio getting sucked up by the bad ones. Quality companies, but they keep heading south. And one thing is maybe being down on the portfolio or down on the sector, but another is my point of view, how you let it affect your day, your mindset, your week, time with family, with friends, and doing the fun things you enjoy doing away from screens. So I'm not sure what I'm trying to get at here in this quick video, other than maybe giving people a few ideas that probably all of them are no-brainers. Just to stay ahead of the game, stay in the game. As they say, as cheesy as it sounds, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. And during times like these, it's really easy to get knocked out of the game. In my experience, I think a lot of people who know me, who've been following for a while, there's been 4 or 5 times where I almost quit biotech investing. And each time, I was on the fetal position on the floor, literally, and somebody who's way more knowledgeable than I'll ever be would scoop me up and tell me what I could do better. And that's the only reason I'm here now, doing better. The last 3 years, the turnaround has been from refining my selection criteria, removing the areas that I realize my track record is really, really poor, like preclinical or early phase one companies, and focusing on what's working for me. So anyway, cutting to the chase before I ramble too much, I think the first thing is how you start your day. For me, it was really dumb that I would all the time a few years back start the day, wake up and immediately jump on the screen and start doing the due diligence for the day, looking at news. Especially not fun if you wake up to too many binary losers. I remember having breakfast with a friend and getting notified on the phone of I forget which name it was. It was like a 90% loss preclinical pre-market, and and completely on me. It was an unforced error. But when you've had too many of those, starting the day like that is just terrible. And even when it's a good period, you're having a hot streak, it's still not healthy to start the day just jumping straight to screen. So one thing that helped me the last 2.5 years, uh, that's been really big for my performance turnaround has been, when I wake up at, let's say, 6 in the morning, not turning on the computer for at least the first hour or even 2 hours. Do whatever you need to do to get your head in a good place, whether that's going to the gym sometimes, an early morning workout. For me, not to get preachy, but that's read, pray, meditate, get my head into good headspace. Um, so that's been huge for me. I can't understate that, how huge it's been to take a step back and focus on being unrushed, unhurried, fully present. As I already mentioned, focusing on what's working for me. In that case, it's mainly been commercial launch plays, also late stage biotech. Prefer, phase three results already in hand, clear path to market. Maybe phase two at least has proof of concept data, and again, a clearly laid out competitive landscape, not a Me Too company. So that gives me a lot of biotech the freedom to steer clear from a lot of it. So people ask me questions about so many companies where I'm free to say, I don't know because I'm not following it. So when you're focusing on just the few setups that best meet your criteria, Or as another friend quoted Buffett and said, you're investing is a no called strike game. So you can let as many pitches go past you as you want, and only swing when it's absolutely your call, when it really fits your selection criteria. What else? Let's see. Having a playbook is kind of like a watch list, but for me, it's on my phone, kind of like chess, where you plan your next few moves ahead of time. I have a list of pre-vetted ideas I've done DD on. I've already have my thesis written out, my trade rationale, and so when dollars free up, I'm ready to move into those. So that helps a lot to take emotion out of it. My trader buddy Steve, who you guys might remember I mentioned, I met him at Starbucks. He does penny stocks, something that's not for me. But one thing I love about him is when he has a big win, there's zero emotion. He's just like, well, that worked out, and he sells it, moves on. And when he hits his screens only once or twice a week and he sees maybe that he has a significant loss, it didn't go according to plan. Same thing, very low emotion, just sells it, and then back to the drawing board, focus on what's working for him. So I try to emulate that with my approach. Not getting as cocky when you have a good win, and when the losses happen, it's very hard to do this, but not take them personally. I think it was a friend in chat recently who was saying he takes each of the losses personally, or you see these biotech companies where maybe the science is great, but management is doing terrible, or they're cheerleading, not executing. It's really easy to make your blood boil, make you want to give up or at least avoid, and so it's important to take the emotion out of it. I know it sounds silly in this environment, but it's still, I really, for my case, enjoy investing. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. Um, so it's important to be investing in sectors or in things, stories that fascinate you. Before all this, I was an English teacher at a professor in Peru for a university and a private high school for up to it was 10 years. So could always go back to doing that. That's always a nice plan B. But in the meantime, the reason I'm investing and why things keep getting better is because it's enjoyable. It's focusing on what's working. It's limiting your time on screens to a certain amount per day so you don't get burned out. Another big one is like kind of alluded to at the beginning. Surround yourself, even if it's just a few trader friends you found on X or your local investing group or whatever, people to encourage you at lows to improve, and when you're at highs to pull you down a notch. Like I said, I tend to get overconfident when things are going well, so it's nice to have people tear apart my thesis, tell me where I got it wrong. That's one reason I like to share what I can on X. While I'm at it, if you're having trouble sleeping at night, I had a few friends mention that. It probably means you're holding way too high exposure, whether it's in one specific name and you're always dreaming about the upside scenarios, or you see those single stock accounts on Bio Twitter X where they're always pumping or following one name. Or it could be that you have too much allocated to biotech. A lot of the guys in their chat, some of them are, retirement age or, 40s, 50s. And so biotech, let's say it's 5 or 10, 15% of their portfolio. So they're not all in by any means. For me, that's the one-to-one rule. For every $1 in a risky bucket like biotech, another dollar goes to a safer money bucket like dividend index ETFs or something like that, something that's set it and forget it. You can throw money at each month and not really worry about it. Again, I already said it, but focusing on what's working. That's why everybody, I think, should have a trading log. I know I did that all the time for the gym. That's when I saw my progress in the gym, is by tracking metrics. And I'm a slow learner. It took me a long time to extrapolate that and realize, oh, maybe I should do the same thing with investing. But it's nice to write down what you're thinking with each trade, highlight where you lost money, why did you lose money, so you can avoid those situations. When you made money, what's working, what can you stick with? Uh, Again, I probably already said this too, but taking enough time away from screens, especially gym therapy, middle of the day, I'll take time away from it and lift weights. And, if there was a trade I was thinking about making, it's nice that after lifting weights or running or whatever, it'll become usually clear whether that's a good trade or not, or whether I need to sit on it a few more days. So enough time away from screens. I was talking with another friend on X lately, bio Twitter, just the importance he was saying of being well-rounded. My old man growing up, he called it the 5 Fs, which I thought was pretty cheesy, but now they're actually kind of nice. Family, friends, finance, fitness, faith. So just kind of focusing on other areas of life too. And if you, one thing I'm trying to do more is take a day or a few days away from screens. Markets will always be there when you get back. Moving on, in my case, I'm looking at multi-year clinical and commercial momentum for each holding. So it's nice when I'm cycling through the holdings in my head, let's say once a week, to remind myself why I own them for a multi-year time frame. What am I expecting, now in Q1, Q2 of 2024, or 2025, sorry, and acceleration in 2026. Where's the pipeline going? Where do I think the sales are going? And if something jumps out that shows me I was wrong, I'll be the first to open my mouth, insert foot, and sell it. So, even this morning it was Spray, SPRYARS Pharmaceuticals launching Neffy, which is the intranasal epinephrine spray. Um, that's now bouncing back and forth between being our number one, number two holding. Um, and for me, it was nice going through that conference call and seeing where they expect the sales to accelerate in the second half of the year, both from the DTC campaign, especially for schools, also the reimbursement ramping up to 80% of lives covered, no prior authorizations. So it really helps when you have you're invested in companies where management teams are doing the heavy lifting for you, the execution. It's not all on your shoulders. Again, not looking at just betting on single binary readouts like I did in my 20s. We had a few big wins there, but a lot of losses. And for whatever reason, a few years back, that's when I closed down my clinical portfolio, pure clinical, because it round tripped. Performance was really good for a while, and then that year it just round tripped, and I was doing terrible. And the light bulb finally clicked in my head. Took way too long. Like, hey, I have absolutely no edge when it comes to purely betting on readouts, purely betting on clinical. Certain areas of clinical, a large portion of it, I should be steering clear from based on the numbers. That's what I love is that metrics don't lie. That's why we track our performance, track my win rate. Um, for me, win rate, the goal is having at least a 70% win rate. So when it goes below that, that's a warning signal that, hey, I'm doing something wrong, kind of like a leading indicator. During my worst rough patch a few years back, my win rate was as low as 30%, and that's completely on me. I tend to overtrade, try to make, I don't know you guys, but overtrade, try to make it back when I'm doing very poorly. So that's one reason why I learned the hard way. I put guardrails in place. So I limit myself to just 2 to 4 days per month where I'm allowed to trade. And that way, the rest of the days in the month, I'm sitting on my ideas. I'm looking at the thesis. I'm looking at especially bears and what they're saying, where I could be getting it wrong. So that helps a lot as far as slowing down. Overconfidence wise, another thing that helped was 10% maximum portfolio weighting rule. So no matter how much I love a commercial stage company, I think it's going to the moon. The maximum I can hold is 10% of the portfolio. If it does well, great, I did very well. And if it does poorly, I'll live to fight another day. And for clinical stage space, that is 5% portfolio weighting. So a similar rationale there. So sorry for that rambling. Just to say that have some rules in place to, as investors, to counter our worst weaknesses, knowing ourselves. So again, how we start our day, the mindset, only going to screens when we're ready. I try to only get on when I really want to be there. Just like with the gym, there's some days you really want to go exercise, and other days you're like, no way, not feeling it. Same thing with investing. There's nothing wrong with taking days off here and there and only getting on the screens when you're ready. And doing other activities that fulfill you, that make you enjoy life outside of it. For me, you guys know a few years back, I kind of fell into being a digital nomad. So it's nice when I'm away from screens. I'm exploring here in San Jose downtown. Before I was in Puerto Viejo, so that's beach and jungle. So whether it's surfing or meeting new friends after work or dancing or whatever, there's always something going on. So anyway, yeah, that was a lot longer than I intended. Probably rambling more than I intended as well. But hopefully, there's something in there, anything that you can rescue from that and apply to your process that either helps you to stay in the game or to simply improve or enjoy it a little more. It's important to. Uh, for me, I love the intellectual stimulation in the sector. You're always reading about new studies, new treatments for patients. Um, I think I was reading recently about the average cystic fibrosis patient and how, before Vertex's treatments, they didn't make it past their 20s, and now due to latest advances, they're going to be expecting basically normal lifespans. Pretty crazy. So there's a lot of things to love about this sector, but I'll be the first to admit a lot of things that make it pretty tough. And I don't want to be the always the glass half full guy. When there's a bad day out there, or a bad week in the markets, and I'm back in the States and I'm seeing my friends or my old man, my father, he's like, "How's work today?" And I'm the first to be like, "I don't want to talk about it." He's like, "Why? Another biotech dump, we call them." I'm like, "Absolutely, yes. It's been another week like that." So I'll be the first to say that the bad days affect me. I'm not going to pretend they don't. But at least having those guardrails in place, the way you start your day, some of the other things we talked about, at least it helps me, helps you hopefully to stay above water, focus on what's working, and keep a decent mindset in the middle of it. Cheers, guys. Hope that helped.